Boy, oh boy, them Democrats and Bill Maher. What a year it's been, hasn't it, y'all? You know? And we just want to thank people like Bill Maher, no matter, we know what type of timing he's on and the huge impact he has played this election cycle as well. As along with a lot, tons of others with, somewhat calling it out for what it is, but also Trump deranged, as well. Like Stephen A. Smith. I mean, just tons of names y'all know, man. Charlemagne, the God. I mean, we could just go down the list. It's a whole bunch of them, that played a huge part in this election. And they eventually go viral time and time again, calling out the truth. They call it out for what it is. But they just hate Trump so much. Something in the back part of the stem cells of it just something else. Just their heart, it just don't click through. That Trump derangement syndrome. It whoo. It's nasty, man. It is nasty. But once again, Bill Maher is calling it for what it is. And this is why you see people have left the party. People have had a change of heart. Liberals, lifelong Democrats, now giving the Republicans a chance. They're actually giving the Republicans a chance. They say, let's hang. Maybe we can hang with them. Maybe this is what we need. Maybe I was lied to by the fake news. Maybe the propaganda got to me. The CNN, the MSNBCs. Maybe I need to take a step back. Maybe Trump was right. And quite frankly, when I look around and I see how life is going, maybe he is right. Maybe the Republicans is right. Wait a minute, let me rethink this thing. Especially if you're independent, And we seen droves of categories showing up to vote for President Trump. Blacks, Hispanics, Gen Z. I mean, just everybody. And all I can say is, what did you expect? Everybody knew. You knew. Bill Maher knew that they did a terrible job. Their Kamala Harris campaign was terrible. And I honestly feel like they're going to do so well, man, that there might not be another Democrat in there for a long time. I'm just saying that they're going to do such an amazing job that they just won't. They won't be back in business for a long time, man. I'm just saying, that's how I feel. I feel that they're going to do this. That this Trump administration is going to do such an amazing job. That's what I'm feeling. How do y'all feel about that? Comment down below. You're going to disagree with me. It's okay. I might be wrong. But what we is going to do is hold them accountable. Because we wishing the best in everybody's life, man. No matter what side you're on, no matter your skin color, blue, red, Democrat, Republican, if you don't care for politics, we wishing the best in everybody's life, no matter what, man. But I couldn't wait to get into this video. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Oh boy.
Bro Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Okay, so I guess the story continues. The Democrats are in the process of trying to find themselves, rebrand. But it doesn't really feel like the party at whole is accepting it, It feels more as if the base is fracturing. Some Democrats seem to get it, and others don't. There's no meeting in the middle, it's more like both sides are running away from each other. And so look, I don't know if the Democrat Party is actually going to be able to enact legitimate, serious reforms. I don't know if they're going to fix themselves. Frankly, I also don't really care. The more any big government, socialist-style political party tumbles into the ground, frankly, the better. But I'll tell you one thing, it's certainly interesting content, it's certainly fun to watch. And so let's simply just keep observing what's going on the left right now. I got a collection of some interesting clips and some interesting stories to show you guys. I guess the story's continuing here. The left continues to implode. Let's start off with a Bill Maher clip as enlightened, mega-brain leftist genius Bill Maher attempts to diagnose the issue. And then we'll get into some other stories. Let me show you guys what's going on, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so here's Bill Maher and his official diagnosis. Violated. Now of course, we're in the same...
Wow. There it is, y'all. We thank y'all. Clap it up for y'all. Y'all clap it up for Bill. Clap it up for Bill. We appreciate you, Bill. And you did such an amazing job this election, Bill. So many viral videos. We had viral videos covering some of your takes, exposing the Dems, liberals. And we want to thank you, Bill. You did such an amazing job. Such an amazing job, fella. And again, we know what type of timing Bill Maher is on, y'all. And that's the best part about these videos, man, I tell you. But boy, I would be pissed to be one of y'all that sent over a donation to that campaign. To see where it went to. To see the Diddy all out on the floor. All out in the street, they got Diddy all. They got free Diddy signs. Hollywood, Hollyweird. The corrupt media was on their side, everybody. Your favorite actor, entertainer. Free concerts. They thought they had that thing in the bag. They said they were going to flip Texas blue. They said they were Ohio, Iowa, all kind of places. But the woman couldn't answer a question. They couldn't spell woman. They couldn't spell men. They couldn't spell economy. They couldn't spell border. And all I can say is, what did they expect when she got on live on The View with Sunny Hostin? And this clip is viral clip. Sunny Hostin said, Kamala, comrade, communist. What would you have done different than Joe Biden 2.0? Joe Biden. She said nothing. So what does that mean? She's Joe Biden 2.0. Simple. What would you have done different than Joe Biden? They asked her that. They asked her this question live on air, and millions and billions of people retweeted this, reposted it. Millions of people. So billions of people saw this clip. They even played it live when we were watching the football games. They played it like 10 times when we were watching the football games. Trump ran that ad of her saying that, and they had it edited beautiful. And I honestly think she was ready for it all to be over. I don't know if y'all seen the energy. You could even tell in her conceded speech, she was just ready for this whole thing to be over with. And I seen that also in interviews. You could tell the way when she spoke, her body language, everything. We all seen it, man. I know some of y'all say, no. She did such an amazing job. She bought out Beyonce. Oh. And also, did you see the Oprah and everybody? It was just such an amazing campaign. Yeah. I advise you to stop drinking the Kool-Aid. I really do. She bought out Samuel Jackson, Usher, Lizzo. And Lizzo said that if she's elected, it would look just like Detroit. And they ran that Trump ad all over the place too. They went and got Bill out of retirement. They got Bill Clinton out of retirement. He out there campaigning for Trump, saying, "Yep, we've done a terrible job at the border." Bill, did you forget that she's going against? You're helping Trump, sir. They had such terrible. Every week they were going viral for the wrong reasons, and we told y'all what was going to happen November 5th. And now look where we're at.
Exact situation, people want to give Bill Maher so much praise. Wow, he's so smart. He's so ahead of the curve. But no, he isn't. He's a desperate grifter who's finally forced in a position to admit the truth. Folks, it's 2024, and now Bill Maher all of a sudden understands that identity politics is toxic, and this, let's call it white latte liberalism that we've seen, is nothing but self-flagellating virtue signaling. Give me a friggin' break. Bill Maher, once again, too little, too late. He's trying to paint himself as the only liberal in the room, who has a shred of common sense. He's the only reasonable liberal, but he's nothing but a paid TV grifter. I find the irony just incredible. He's lecturing Democrats as being extreme and out of touch and not getting it. When they're confronted with the ridiculous talking points, he claims they double down. But here's the irony with Bill Maher himself. While he pretends to be the only clear thinker, calling out the insanity on his own side, let's not forget that this is the same Bill Maher who for 8 years has been one of the loudest voices accusing Donald Trump of being a wannabe dictator or fascist, a literal Hitler. And when confronted with the same kind of rhetoric being toxic and divisive, just last week, Bill Maher doubled. He's still just as afflicted with Trump derangement syndrome, even after all of these years, as any other elitist Democrat. And now he's essentially plagiarizing right-wing talking points because the Democrat Party has gone so far left that they're freaking shooting off the side of a cliff, and he has no other choice but to admit the truth. But really, none of it feels genuine. Bill Maher's now condemning the left for being a bunch of out-of-touch, overly educated, elitist Dems living in big cities, looking down on Republicans, and especially Republican voters, as being stupid. Yeah, this coming from the guy who pretty much built his entire career pointing the finger at the other side and saying they're so stupid and we're the smart liberals. We're so educated, we read the New York Times. Give me a frickin' break. But of course, with all that being said, I will give him credit on one angle where he's at least been a little bit consistent, and that's the issue of identity politics. Now, do I think the left is going to heed his warnings? Absolutely not. It's an obsession. They view the world through a racial prism. I don't know if that's ever going to change, at least maybe not in my lifetime. And so, it's nice and all to see Bill Maher tackle the hard subjects and speak truth to his own party. But honestly, it feels like a waste of time. Nobody's actually listening. The truth is, I don't think the Democrat Party is going to change at all because they simply can't afford to. They're too deep into this ideology, too beholden to the radical left base that controls their party during the primary season. My view is that they would rather lose elections and double down on their delusions than ever admit that they were wrong. I mean, what does the left have if they can't lecture people? Wag their finger, looking down at you from their ivory tower, lecturing you about pronouns, critical race theory, why borders are racist, while completely ignoring the struggles that regular people have. The number one issue of every voter. Whether or not they could put food on the table. I think the Democrats are just too deep. They have adopted this new identity and,
all we knew that whole campaign was abortion. And that was sad. And then 2 weeks before this thing's said and done, she kicks out Christians out of her rally while talking about Roe vs. Wade. I mean, they said Jesus is king, Christ is king. I mean, come on now. Christ is king, Jesus is Lord, and you kick them out and say go down to a smaller rally, a smaller place, and say that stuff. You mock God. There was a lot of points where I knew that, this was it for her. And hell, I knew it was over, to be honest with you, after the first assassination attempt. And when we got that beautiful picture of what a leader actually looks like, of what a patriot is, that represents we the people. People that laid out they sacrificed everything and put everything on the line, on the front line, baby. To see the blood coming down, telling everybody to keep fighting, to never surrender, even in the face of death itself. That meant a lot to a lot of people, man. I can't even tell you millions of billions. All I can say is a lot of people felt that energy. The spirit, I mean, it touched people's spirit, soul after July 13th, man, 2024. Everything that man has been through, sham after sham after sham, and they couldn't beat him fair and square, as you can see. And again, he's not a perfect human. You're not a perfect. I'm not a perfect human. We all have done, we've never been perfect. But the fact that they couldn't beat that man fair and square, and you might not like what I'm going to say, but I look, after doing some research and looking at this thing again, a lot of them things I think he's damn near innocent. I'm just saying. I think they've all really been shams. And they honestly should be ashamed of themselves. We're going to delay the case. We're going to we're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to come after him in 2029. Oh. And the judge should be disbarred. People need to be removed. People need to put their hands behind their back. And it's a bunch of them. People going on trips, stuffing money in the mattresses. Big Fanny, Letitia James, Crying Jack Smith. It's a whole bunch of them. Judge Moron, they should be ashamed of themselves. They tried everything, and guess what? It didn't work. And I told y'all, God ain't done yet, baby. Amen. All glory to the kingdom. He ain't done yet. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but I know there's a lot of y'all that do want to hear that. He ain't done. And his prayers for Trump in the comment section, man, because we don't know what to expect next with all the corruption that is taking place and going on. We don't know what to expect next, man. As they will continue to stop and hinder this Trump administration, man. This Trump advance ticket. They're going to continue to spread the fake news. They're going to continue the bias report, and they're going to continue the misinformation. But right now, they've toned it all the way down, in my opinion. We haven't heard dictator, Hitler, threat to democracy. We see people shaving off their hair and completely losing it, screaming, on TikToks and Facebooks and all kind of stuff. People just can't get over that Trump won, and we knew that was coming. But it's time for a change in leadership, man. A lot of things need to be done. And I told you, a lot of things would have been talked about right now if Trump didn't say what he said in the ways that he said it. A lot of things wouldn't even be talked about right now. Let's be honest here.
Going through a whole identity shift when you're this in the thick of it, well, it seems rather unlikely. And honestly, Bill Maher's segments are what convinced me of that belief, that it isn't going to happen. Because sure, the words are nice and all. Oh, it's a step in the right direction. Finally, the left realizes what they've been doing wrong. But let's not pretend like Bill Maher is some sort of brave truth teller. He's just trying to save face now that the ship is sinking. And as for the Democrats, they'll keep doubling down on this insanity until there's nothing left of their party but the smug, self-righteous, self-congratulating congratulatory elites patting each other on the back while the rest of the country moves on without them. The Democrat Party is the country's HR department. Without sensitive cultural issues, without the ability to lecture people and make themselves feel good, the Democrat Party wouldn't exist. You know, these people can talk all they want, oh, we finally get it, but it's like two guys. It's Bill Maher and maybe John Fetterman, who now says that Democrats need to stop freaking out over everything that Donald Trump does. It's Charles Barkley, of all people.
And I just want to say this to the Democrats, which I'm an independent who voted Democratic. Do me this favor. Shut the up. When you win, you get to say what you want to. When you lose, you need to shut the hell up. Oh, President Biden they didn't get him out the race soon enough. Kamala didn't do this. We lost because we had no game plan. We still haven't solved the immigration problem, have no viable answers, never addressed inflation, bringing all these stupid stars out.
You see, and then look, you see how and people like Charles Barkley and many others, they go out, you know, they have these viral clips that hit the internet. You know, he sounds just like Stephen A. Smith as well, all of them. They basically explain and tell you why a lot of people voted for Trump, why a lot of people went with the Republican Party, why people had a change of heart, why liberals, Democrats, lifelong, completely just packed their bags up and voted differently. Viral. But people like Charles Barkley, again, and they still go to that booth and select the Democrats, select Kamala. After these viral clips of telling people why you shouldn't. Two-Face, I told y'all. Frauds. And these be the same ones that be like, oh, well, you know, I'm a Republican now. I'm just saying, man.
To rally the vote. What was that? Hey, I love Beyonce. What's bringing her out? That ain't gonna make me vote a certain way. Cardi B. I like Cardi B. That ain't gonna make me vote a certain type of way.
Told y'all.
You guys lost because y'all stupid.
But who else? Essentially nobody. The Democrat hive mind as a whole hasn't accepted any responsibility for what happened. They just think the country is dumb and got fooled by misinformation. I mean, that's what they're saying. They just think the country is sexist and misogynist. And so they're going to continue to lecture the country until, in their hopes, I guess, Latino men and black men come to the realization that they have internalized misogyny that dictates their voting patterns. The next time there's a sensitive racial issue, the Democrats are going to jump on it because that's what they do. They're opportunists. They're manipulators. They're people who use sensitive, controversial topics and subjects to attain power. And that will never change, regardless of how many Bill Maher segments identify the issue. It's a core component of what it means to be a Democrat. Emotional manipulation, that is the core component to the entire left-wing shtick. Pit people against each other. Dark skin versus light skin. Citizens versus non-citizens. Straight people versus gay people. The rich versus the poor. It's always this dynamic of warring people against each other so that the elites can benefit. And Bill Maher, well, he's one of those guys who, if the environment allows him to prey on that stuff, he will. And of course, if the winds shift the other way, then he'll pretend as if he was always above it. Give me a frickin' break. There's all this talk of the Democrat Party reforming itself, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think what's more likely to happen if this type of rhetoric continues is that more and more people will just end up registering as independents or joining the Republican Party, because what's becoming increasingly clear over the years is that the Democrat Party just isn't a space for common sense anymore. And I think the Democrats made that crystal clear in the 2024 election, and especially in their response to the Trump landslide. I guess point of the video, Bill Maher's a grifter, and I don't think the Democrats have learned anything. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you.
Yeah, man, and I'm glad that video we showed y'all, man, it went viral. Like, Bill Maher is actually trending worldwide right now. For blasting and just torching the Democratic Party. As long as a lot of many others, But all we could say is what did they expect, man? What did they expect? And then they come out in these viral clips and they hit it right on the nail. Why the turnout was so big for President Trump? Why that thing was red? Why it was a landslide? Well, let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know what y'all think of all this. I love y'all. Again, make sure you hit that like button, share the video. And hey, we wish you the best in everybody's life. Y'all have an amazing rest of the weekend. Spend time with your loved ones, man. Do not take time for granted. Call your people, check on them. And I will catch you beautiful people in the next one, man. Peace and love, y'all.